In Sanborn in East Dougherty County, we are hearing some amazing stories of survival coming out of this storm. But first, take a look at the devastation caused by this EF3 tornado. You can see where it brought down trees. One flattened this SUV here. As that tornado came through, moved over the P&G plant. Metal from the plant's buildings went flying through the air. You can see where it was just tossed up into the trees throughout this neighborhood. So this morning, we are dealing with the aftermath of a possible tornado in Albany. Right now, EMA officials have a command center set up as they begin the cleanup process. Albany Fire Chief Ron Rowe joining us now on the phone. Chief, I know it's been a tough night for you and your crews. Let's talk about the areas that were hardest hit.
Yeah.
Minquel Limbrick on the run now for more than 21 hours after that deadly police shooting. And this is a man with a lengthy criminal past. Overnight, I learned that between 2003 and 2012, he had served 2 stints in prison and had several run-ins with law enforcement here in Sumter County. And Amanda, we should tell you that within just the past few minutes, we have confirmed from the GBI that the body found inside that home there at Allen and MLK Boulevard in Americas is, in fact, that of a police shooting suspect, Minquel Limbrick. 32 years old, the center of a very intense manhunt involving. And they were very concerned about the safety of the officers, the safety of the public, and what might happen when this man was cornered. We don't know if it was inside a home there on this street, but from what we've been able to gather here within the past few minutes, either when police arrived sometime before or sometime after, Minquel Limbrick was shot. Whether that was, as Amanda said, a self-inflicted gunshot wound or whether he was shot in some sort of crossfire, we don't know, but there is no active scene there. It seems that police have backed away from Allen and MLK. And one of the best ways to contain this fire is fighting it from the air. Take a look at this helicopter right here. It just scooped up hundreds of gallons of water from a pond in what is called a snorkel. Now, as it comes across the wood line, it's focusing on this area. This is all in an effort to contain this fire, to box it in, to keep it from spreading. Against the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, President Donald Trump ordering airstrikes against Syria just days after the regime there allegedly used chemical weapons on its own people. After a massive fire caused an overpass to collapse. Take a look at this video from yesterday. You can see flames underneath the overpass on I-85 near Piedmont Road. Now state leaders say travel could potentially be disrupted for weeks, if not months. In some way split when this EF2 tornado came through Sunday afternoon. You've got down power lines here, and this is just one of many hard-hit areas here in Dougherty County. Yesterday, the sun comes up this morning. We will get a better idea of just how bad the damage is in Albany from this possible tornado outbreak. WALB News 10's Jim Wallace continues our team coverage. He's at Lake Loretta off Dawson Road. And Jim, a lot less trees standing there this morning. Joining us live here in downtown Albany, Kate Fowler alongside Melissa Hodges for this 26th annual celebration of Lights Parade. Pretty soon, the streets here in downtown Albany are going to be busy. There's going to be lots of floats coming through, marching bands, as we mentioned, dancers, a lot of talented people from the community. And this year's parade, because it gets bigger and bigger every year, they've actually extended it. In a shooting overnight in Mitchell County, it's still trying to confirm if this was an officer-involved shooting. Taking you live to the scene there. It happened around 2 this morning on Mallard Road in Sale City. We believe law enforcement was on the scene when that shooting happened and called for paramedics. We don't know the name or condition of the person who was shot and what led to that shooting. You see GBI agents there on the scene focusing on that white car there in the background. County, where a possible tornado touched down overnight, damaging homes and even causing some injuries. Yeah, at least one mobile home was destroyed in the Dickey community, tossed into the highway. Amazingly, 2 people inside somehow survived. Now, we pick up our team coverage in Dickey this morning. That's outside of Morgan. WALB News 10's Desiree Duncan live at the scene with a look at what's left of that mobile home. Desiree. So a lot of cleanup underway here in Calhoun County. The scary thing about this storm was that it came in the middle of the night while a lot of people were sleeping. And to give you an idea of just how powerful this possible tornado was, take a look behind me. This is the foundation where a mobile home once stood. When that storm came through, those winds so powerful, it lifted that mobile home up into the air. And as you can see, it dropped it right here on the Dickey bypass like a bomb. There is debris scattered everywhere. Amazingly, a mother and her daughter were sleeping inside that mobile home at the time. They were trapped under the rubble, and somehow they managed to escape with their lives. It came in the middle of the night. Possible tornado. This pile of debris, once a mobile home. Mother and daughter inside when it went airborne.
One of my deputies arrived first, Jeremy Deal. He got here first, and he had found them out there. And I think they was, I don't know if they was hollering or talking to him. He found them on this side of the road, which the trailer was on this side of the road. And I reckon it blowed them over here with all the damage.
Ricardo Wilkerson suffered a broken hip and arm. Her daughter, Danielle, broken ribs.
I understand they're banged up, but they're going to be okay. Look at the damages, it could be a lot worse.
The storm came through just before 3 a.m. The wind so powerful, trees were splintered, metal was twisted. Just up the road in Edison, 2 mobile homes destroyed. One man inside suffered only minor injuries.
A mess. I'm not used to seeing something like this. It's something you see in pictures.
Pictures that tell a story of a storm that amazingly claimed no lives. Yeah, when you look at this, just what is scattered here amongst this debris field is what it is. Just personal belongings lying everywhere. Trees are down. Speaking of that mobile home, as you can see, that's part of the foundation as well. Just this huge piece of twisted metal. Crews are out here on the Dickey Bypass. Part of the road is closed due to debris in the roadway. A number of trees are down here throughout Calhoun County. Power is still out to some homes and crews working to restore it. It's going to take these guys a while to get all of this mess cleaned up. Now he is charged with the murder of a young police officer, gravely wounding another. Now the FBI and U.S. Marshals involved in this manhunt, and a $30,000 reward on the table for his capture. This morning, the bounty is high for a suspected cop killer. 32-year-old Minquel Limbrick on the run now, hours after police say he gunned down 2 officers.
It's a tremendous loss to our family. It's been many, many years since we've had an officer fall in the line of duty here in Americus.
It happened around 9:30 Wednesday morning at an apartment complex near the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. America's police officer Nicholas Smarr and GSW safety officer Jody Smith responding to a domestic disturbance. Police say when they encountered Limbrick, he opened fire, killing Smarr and badly wounding Smith. And just moments after the shooting, Limbrick posting this video to Facebook.
I don't miss y'all folk, man.
At a press conference last night, the GBI reaching out to the fugitive.
Enough violence has occurred today. We want you to call 911 and arrange to turn yourself in. Everyone's safety is important. Contact us to end this in a peaceful manner. We want the violence to end today.
Now a dragnet expanding throughout South Georgia and beyond to capture Limbrick as police and the community devastated over this senseless act of violence.
That's terrible. Yeah, it's just shocking.
Now, Limbrick's Facebook page was taken down hours after that shooting, but before that, a number of people had posted on there urging him to turn himself in this situation peacefully. That was the message from the GBI. Right now, more than 300 law enforcement officers at the local, state, and federal level involved in this manhunt. Now, Limbrick, as we mentioned before, has ties to the Albany area. He is considered armed and very dangerous, and that $30,000 reward on the table. Yeah, Jim and Melissa, dry conditions have created a tinderbox of sorts here on the western edge of the Okefenokee. Right now, it's a methodical process fighting this fire. Containment, though, is key, with it being fought both on the ground and from the air. What started as a lightning strike April 6 has grown into a 20,000-acre inferno with no sign of letting up. At the mercy of the wind, the fire has spread to the north and west, putting the town of Fargo on heightened alert. Tactical fighting, though, is key, with brakes being plowed to keep it from crossing Highway 177 in Clinch County.
We have brakes in place with our dozers, and we're using our engines now to go around, and the firefighters are mopping up any hot spots along the edge, trying to make that fire break a little wider, give us a little buffer for this afternoon wind that's coming in.
This is not the first time this area has been threatened by a massive wildfire. In 2007, the Georgia Bay complex torched more than 400,000 acres, destroying nearly a dozen homes and wiping out $54 million worth of timber. It took months to get under control. But 4 years later, Clinch County once again threatened by the Arabia Bay fire. Lessons were learned.
This fire's moved a little quicker, and you know, historically that shows we've moved quicker in this fire than we have in 2011. 2011, the guys did a great job keeping things protected, keeping things in the swamp.
And one of the best ways to contain this fire is fighting it from the air. Take a look at this helicopter right here. It just scooped up hundreds of gallons of water from a pond in what is called a snorkel. Now, as it comes across the wood line, it's focusing on this area. This is all in an effort to contain this fire, to box it in, to keep it from spreading. Right now, 300 fire personnel are on the ground, some from as far as Texas, plowing brakes, mopping up already torched earth to box in the fire. This aerial footage showing a line of flames burning through the swamp. Right now, keeping it inside the Okefenokee is the goal.
And we just keep planning and building our box as it moves around and just keep it out in the swamp and protect private land first.
And one of the biggest issues here is lack of rainfall, with none in sight until Sunday. At this point, it would likely take a tropical storm to even put a damper on this fire. Right now, the ETA for the West Mims to be completely under control is mid-June. In Clinch County, Kate Fowler, WALB News 10.